Welcome to Capital Guard. In this video we are going over the dashboard. You see the dashboard up here. You can collapse it here like this, so it doesn't disturb you if you are trading up here or have other things that you need to see. And then you have a risk calculator here. See, right now we are on Euro-US dollar. See the chart here, Euro-US dollar. And right now it says what balance I have, what risk setting I have, how much I risk in every trade that I set up. Stop loss will show, of course, when we have trade active. We have no trades active right now. And then also it will show you the R multiple, how much R you are plus or minus. And remember, 1 R was when, if you put the stop loss here and you enter here, that's one range. If that one range goes one more time, that's one R, and then it's 2 R. In this case, we have set it to when we reach 1 R, it should take off 25% of the order, and most stop loss are break even. And then it also have a trailing stop we can use if we want to. And the next trade will show up here. This. There. So let's start with the risk calculator. You go in here, here you set your risk, 1%. Let's say we change it to 2. Click OK. Now it's recalculated and says now it's the double, 50.95 per risk trade. This. So set your own risk, what you want to have. And if you only want to go back to the default, you just click reset here. Minimum lot size, that's just a thing for brokers. As long as you trade forex and so on, 0.01 is fine. But you may have assets that has a minimum of 0.10 DAX, for example, on some brokers. Then you would change it here. Then you tell the EA to not trade anything lower than 0.10, because it can't do that, because it will be rejected. Maximum slippage 2. It means 2 pips in forex, 2 points in index, and 20 cents in gold. So you need to alter that a little bit depending on what asset you trade. As long as the market moves as it should, no slippage, no problem. But as soon as it starts to slip at you a little bit, if it's news, if it's rollover, this is your protection against it. Then you have here order source. Manual orders gives something called a magic number. So if we enter a trade directly from the dashboard or from our phone, it's called magic 0. If you also want to have it to allow manual orders, but also automatic orders from expert advisors and so on, we can set it to all orders, any source. And it will take in any order that comes in from any script and so on. And if you want to just trade a specific asset with a specific EA that you have, then you can set up the specific EA, but then you must insert the magic number from that EA, and then it will read only those orders with that magic number will be taken into consideration. There. Virtual pending orders, that's for when traders who like to execute from your phone. When you execute from your phone, you only use pending orders. No matter if it's a market order or pending order, you always send a pending order. And if you only set pending order, which is the most common, you have this one to false. That's default. So then you set your pending order, you should set your stop loss. You must always set a stop loss, otherwise the EA can't define risk. Okay. If you instead wanted to only send market orders, you want to execute right now at the market price, then you set this one to true, like this. You still send a pending order. You set your stop loss, and then you can set your pending price any way you like. It doesn't matter, because what the EA will do, it will look at your stop loss, set the correct lot size to where the current market price is right now, and then execute an order, post the right order for you. So it's just a way for you to define if you want to send pending orders or market orders. But we added a really cool feature yesterday to this. So this one, let's say we set it to pending, doesn't really matter in this case because we're going to have a new function now. This one. order comment routing. You see, it says P for pending and M for market. If it's false, nothing happens. If it's true, that means that if you send a pending order from your phone and you mix your trading, you have both pending orders and market orders, then in the comment field, when you send an order from your phone, it says what price, stop loss, a lot of information there. But then you also have a comment section. And in the comment section, if you put in an OP, then this EA knows it's a pending order. And it will listen to exactly the levels that you set on that order. If you set it to M, it will listen to your stop loss, but it won't listen to where you set your pending level, because now you're telling it to actually execute on the current market level. So then you can simply managing your account from one phone, and then define if you want it to act as a pending order or a market order when it comes into your desktop. But as you know, you always send pending orders from a phone, otherwise it can't recalculate and post the correct trade. So that's a very nice function to have. But I mean, if you only trade market orders or pending orders, this is pending order and this is market orders, then you can set that, of course, as your default, and then you can save it as a file down here. Then we come to break even. This tells you after how long in your profit journey. Let's say you enter a trade buy here, and you have a stop loss down here, this range here. When you do that 2 more times, then we'll move your stop loss to break even, right? If you want to have your original stop loss and never want the EA to move your stop loss, then you set this one to 0. Trail every R. That means that after you have reached to R, right, you can set it to follow behind the market with a trailing stop loss. So if you go, for example, to R, and then this says trail every 2R, then it wait 2R more, so you get enough space. And then every 2R it moves your stop loss for you. So it's like a trading assistant that do everything for you, from calculating your position to managing your trade using the features that you want. You can set this one to off and this one to off. Then it won't move your stop loss at all, and it won't trail behind the market with your stop loss. Then you can have a partial close. Let's say you, for example, have these two on off and you have a partial close. It means that at partial close, how much you want to close partial. Let's say 25%, and you want to do that after 1 hour. As soon as you go one time your risk reward, one range. So for example, if you were, let's say you were buying here now, and this was your stop, this was your buy, this range one more time up to here in this candle, then it would actually cut off 25% of your order, meaning that the order needs to be the minimum of 0.04. Otherwise, it can't take a fourth of it. You can set 50, 90, whatever you like, right? And it will cut off, close partial of your trade for you, right? And this one you set to 0, then it will not do any partial at all, of course, right? So these three can be combined as you like, and you can turn them off if you want. Right, this is just a way for us to automatically let the script trade for us, or managing our trade for us. A really powerful tool that calculates it for us. It managing the trade for us. We don't need to think when we should move over stop loss and do stuff like that. It do everything for you. Weeks to scan. This one is really interesting. You see up here that you can see your previous week high, previous week low. There we have numbers, and you also have next high, next low. How does that work? Let me show you. We'll do like, take this view and we take off the full screen like this. Let's say now we go to weekly chart, right? Most weeks when there are consolidation, Market moves, if this is the previous week of this one, it will move inside of it. It normally goes up to the high. Well, why we have it high here? Because they are really good entry levels and exit levels. But then all of a sudden, this week here, for example, this was previous week, and it broke it here. And when it breaks it, these levels as high and low is no longer interesting for us, right? So what they do then, when it comes down here, first it will take a look, okay, right now we are inside of this week's candle. When it broke that one, we go to the next candle. This one, this is the new high and low that it will print on chart and show you here. So you always have control on which weekly candle you are trading inside now, with the high or low of it, right? So that's a feature that most traders can't keep up with manually because it's really hard to do. But it's actually checking where is price and where is my latest weekly high and low. And you can set 10 weeks back, 50 weeks back, and so on, right? And that's why we have it there, right? And also, when we are on this one, you see here, you can also add them to chart. If you just want to see previous week, high and low, this. See how it put this here, high and low of the previous week. On a weekly chart, it looks tight, right? But on a regular, smaller time frame, it will help you massively. And you see this previous week high here and previous week low. If you want to move this box a little bit to the inside here, it's set to 4 pixels from the left right now. This one, you can, let's say we want to say it's set to 20. This. Then it moves it 20 pixels in. So you can set that box depending on your screen resolution and so on, right? That. And if you also want to see, or if you only want to see the current weekly candle that we are trading inside of right now, then you can do it like this, right? Because now it's actually saying, okay, we are here right now. Which weekly candle should I follow? The previous week, right? So that's why it's showing you that the current high and low of the current week. But if you also have the previous week lines added to the chart, then you will see many lines. You see 4 lines like this. So you have full control over your most important levels on a weekly basis when you're trading. So that's a function that many traders ask for as well. So we, of course, have that in the advisor. And then pattern position, top right, means it sits there. You can also move it to top left if you want to, depending on where you like to have it. And remember, you can always collapse it here, so it takes less space. And then horizontal offset and vertical offset. That means that you can move this dashboard from the top down and from the side way down. So if you have it very tight, so it covers your settings button here over the EA, or if it covers the actual asset here, you can adjust it so it sits for a better look on your page or on your screen, right? So that's a way to move it around a little bit, so if it's not perfect for you. And then you have a lot of colors here. You can test them out. These are the colors on the dashboard here. If you, for example, let's say you have a white background and you want to have a gray background instead of this gray, another color, you can change it there, and then you can save it as a file, and you always have it with you, right? And panel width 400, that's what it is right now, right here. Yeah, you can of course increase that if you want more space, or you can decrease it if you want less space, right? So the buttons will become much smaller then. Stop line offset, that's when you click on market and pending here. How far should the stop loss line be by default, depending on what you trade. Right now it says 20 means 20 pips on Euro-US dollar. On gold, for example, it means 20 points and so on. So it's just a way to, if you trade one asset and you want to have you know that you always go with 20 pips stop loss, then you can set it to 20 here, because then it will, when you click on it, it will match your trade. So you don't have to drag and drop too much, right? Button size here, that's the top: market, pending, add, and cancel. Why do we have that one? Because some traders only want to use these 4 top buttons, and they want to expand the width of the dashboard and then increase this one. So these are larger, easier to spot, easier to use, right? This debug logging. If you want to see how the calculation of your order is done by the expert advisor, if you send the order into your desktop, and you want to see how it took the order, how it calculated the cost of your order and everything, you can set it to true, and it will show up in your experts and journal folder like this. So this is it. This is the settings we have right now. Under common, make sure that you always have allow algo trading, and also that you have this algo trading green. And if you can't see this algo trading, click on any of these or right click on any of these, take customize, find algo trading, send it to insert so you can see it right this. Because this must be green, and this one on the EA must be checked, otherwise it won't work for you, right? And then we have this on off. You can turn off. See, now it says off here. That means now nothing of this is working. Right, this is still working. You can do make orders on your platform, but this one is not working because you set it to not use the EA for management. It's just a function there. I say most people won't use it because they want to have this one to be their trading assistant and their calculator to don't have to calculate orders and so on. Very useful, I would say. We're going to take off the lines for now. I like clean charts. You have 2 buttons down here: motor break even, partial. If you're watching a trade and you're feeling that, well, news are coming, right, or something that you know will probably mow your trade in the wrong direction, or you're afraid it's going there, you can move your stop loss to break even by clicking on one button like this, instead of have to move it yourself and so on, right? As you see now on this chart, I don't have trade levels, I have nothing to drag. And then I can just click there, move to break even, then I know this order's stop loss will move to break even. So if there are news and announcements, I'm pretty safe, right? If it sits stop loss, well, fine, I didn't lose anything, at least. Partial 50%. Same thing here. If you see a good trade, you see this one is running down to here super fast during news, and you want to be sure that you cut the best potential profit, you can click this one and it will close 50% of your order. And when you do that, it will stop following this one, because it's OCO, one close the other, right? So if you use this one, this stops working. If you don't use these two, this will be followed like this, right? There. So let's say now, for example, it's midnight here, but I think the rollover is done. We try to do it at least. Market, for example. If you click on market, no, it's not possible because we are doing rollover, of course. But normally what will happen, you will get the one line when you do market. It's a stop loss line. You click on it to activate it. You will see 2 white dots at here and here. Then you can drag the line. If you drag it above, it will become a sell order. If you drag it below, it becomes a buy order. That's it. And then when you are happy with your level, you click on add, and it will be added to your platform with the perfect calculation of 1%. And then you have the pending. When you click pending with this, there it comes. Thank you very much. There. I don't know where the other line mode is, probably because it's rollover. We shouldn't even see this one really. Anyway, when you click on pending, you will get one level where you want to enter the market and one stop loss. So you can always start with your stop loss, say, well, I want to have my stop loss here. Then the EA know, okay, if you have your stop loss here, you probably want to sell, right? Because market price is here. And then you can drag your entry level. If it's below, it's a sell. If it's above, it's a buy, and so on. And if you mix with stop loss and your entry level, it will show you if it's a buy stop, sell stop, sell limit, or buy limit, right? So you don't have to keep track of them. The EA will do that for you. So it's a regular position sizer that you add to it. And if you don't want to use it, when you add it to the chart and you don't want to use it, you just click cancel and it will disappear. Or if you click market but you want it to actually be pending, then you click pending and it will switch to that, or the versa, right? Like this. So this is the actual dashboard when you're trading. Very super simple to do. You set your levels and it calculates everything for you. And then it's managing the trade for you, depending on your settings. And on the phone, always pending orders. If you're only a market order trader, set the virtual trigger to true. If you're a pending order trader, set it to false. If you're both, use the routing function where you can, with a comment, tell the expert if you want it to work as a market order or as a pending order. That's a Capital Guard Risk Manager, and I hope you like what you see. I try to make it as good as possible based on what I seen during the years needs from traders, what they want. A tool that is simple to use. You don't need to do any calculations. You just click, add, let the machine do the maths for you. Control your management with your R risk settings, your partials, your trading stop, and so on. Trading becomes much easier, and to be real honest, if you don't have a tool like this, similar tool or this tool, it would be really, really hard to get this consistency and actually become a good trader. So thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon again. Bye for now.